So, religion or relationship? I bet you've heard that question before, right? It's a debate that gets people really fired up. And today, we're going to dive right in and unpack this huge divide in modern faith.
Yeah, this phrase right here. You've definitely heard some version of this, I'm sure. It's catchy, it's modern, and man, it's become super popular. It's a powerful line that instantly creates this conflict. But what are we actually saying here? What does it really mean? And, is this even the right question to be asking?
All right, let's get into it. First things first, we got to define our terms. To really get a handle on this whole debate, we need to figure out what people mean when they set up religion versus relationship. Because believe me, these words carry a ton of baggage.
So here's how the argument usually goes, right? You can see it laid out pretty clearly. On one side, you've got religion. It gets painted as the bad guy. It's all about rigid rules, stuffy formalities, oppressive systems, and just a whole lot of hypocrisy. It's about what you do. Then, on the other side, you have relationship. And that's the hero of the story. It's personal, it's emotional, it's this authentic connection that's all about faith. It's a total black and white good versus evil setup. But, that popular view is, well, it's pretty narrow. If you ask a sociologist, you get a totally different picture. They'd say religion is basically a system of beliefs and practices that tries to tackle the biggest, most ultimate questions we have as humans. The heavy stuff. Why are we here? What's the point of it all? It's not just a list of do's and don'ts. It's a framework for trying to make sense of, well, everything.
Okay, so keeping that in mind, let's actually dig into the case against religion. What are the big arguments people make? It usually boils down to three main critiques. All right, argument number one, and this is a big one. Religion is violent. This is probably the most powerful criticism you'll hear. The basic idea is that throughout history, religion has just been this massive engine for conflict and war. We're talking everything from ancient holy wars all the way up to today. And this quote, wow, it really gets to the heart of it. Quote, "It requires religion for good people to do evil." I mean, think about it. Critics will immediately point to things like the Crusades or the Inquisitions and say, see, this is proof that religious belief can twist people into doing horrible things they'd never do otherwise. Okay, on to argument number two. Religion is irrational. The charge here is that faith is just fundamentally at odds with reason, that it's hostile to science, that it shuts down free thinking, and that its main goal is to stop people from asking tough questions. And the third argument is a little different, a bit more subtle. It basically says the word religion itself has become kind of meaningless. I mean, we use it to describe so many different groups, from incredibly peaceful ones to violent extremists. So how can you even make a useful critique of religion as a whole? The term is just too broad to mean anything specific. Okay, so that's the case against religion, but that is only half the story. So now let's flip the coin and look at the defense of religion. And right away, we hit this really shocking counter-argument. Just look at this chart. If you tally up the deaths from ideological conflicts in the 20th century, the violence committed in the name of explicitly atheist regimes, well, it absolutely dwarfs the violence done in the name of religion. We're talking about an estimated 80 million deaths just from communism. It's a staggering number that really challenges that first argument. So what does that tell us? The key takeaway here is pretty clear. You don't need religion to do evil things. You just need to believe in any cause, whether it's political or nationalistic or whatever, so strongly that you're willing to kill for it. The real enemy here isn't belief itself, but fanaticism, no matter what flag it flies. And this quote really drills down to the heart of the matter. The defense argues that judging religion based on whether it's useful or nice completely misses the point. See, religions make massive claims about the nature of reality. The central question isn't, does it make society better? The central question is, are its claims actually true or false? That's the real debate. And let's be fair. Organized religion has also been a huge force for good in the world. I mean, the movement to abolish the slave trade in the British Empire was driven by devout Christians like William Wilberforce. Religion has been the bedrock for countless charities, hospitals, and social services. And it's inspired some of the most breathtaking art and groundbreaking science in human history. This all leads to a really interesting idea from sociology called the law of conservation of religion. The theory goes like this. Every society has a certain amount of religious impulse. It's a constant. So if you push down traditional religion, that deep need for belief and conviction doesn't just vanish into thin air. Nope, it just flows somewhere else, into politics or nationalism or even scientism, turning them into new kinds of religions. So, where are we now after looking at both sides? Is it really a choice between one or the other? Well, the sources we're looking at suggest that this whole religion versus relationship thing, it's a false choice, and it's time we moved past it.
And what's super interesting is that if you actually look at the New Testament, it talks about religion in a really positive way. Take this verse from the book of James. It defines pure religion, not as some empty ritual, but as something incredibly practical, taking care of orphans and widows, the most vulnerable people, and keeping yourself morally grounded. It's about action.
So the point here is that according to the source material, God doesn't have a problem with the idea of religion. The problem is with bad religion. The goal isn't to ditch religion altogether, but to practice the right kind of religion, the kind that's real, that's active, that's pure. And this really breaks down why you need both. Think about it. A relationship all by itself can just become a vague, fuzzy feeling. It's all subjective, and it can even risk becoming more about you than about God. But when you pair that personal relationship with the solid, objective framework that religion provides, well, now you've got something real. It gives that relationship substance, a foundation, and a clear direction. So let's just map it out. It's like a 3-step process. Step 1, the relationship brings that personal meaning, that fire. Step 2, the religion grounds that fire in truth and gives it a way to be expressed. And step 3, when you have them together, that's where you find real spiritual fulfillment. You see? One without the other is always going to be incomplete.
So at the end of the day, we've seen that setting up religion against relationship just doesn't work. We've learned that the real danger isn't belief itself, but any kind of fanaticism, and that a personal connection needs a real framework to have any meaning. So it seems like we've been asking the wrong question this whole time. The question isn't religion or relationship. The real question, the one we're left with, is much deeper. What is true religion?